Hi everybody, welcome to Whiskey Mystery. I'm Phil, and of course, no Deepa here because she's still in Singapore. So she wasn't looking, so I thought I'll pour a little bit of this Springbank. Let's see, maybe you can have a quick look. Only 42.5%, but it is a 23-year, presumably ex-Bourbon. I know it's a viewer's choice day. Down here, I can see there's about 21 bottles. Actually, where is my, where's the list? You can have a quick look at the list. It's pinned in the chat. But these are 21 bottles which have never gone into blind tasting and are something that we could try while we chat. I think Roy's having a bit of a lock-in at 1:30. I mean, sorry, 1.5 hours time. So we have to keep it at least that short. Who's in? Donna Pass. Greg. Oh, hi, Greg. I haven't seen you for a while. Currently busy with dinner, as I was live on my channel earlier. Oh, good for you. We'll join the chat as soon as... Oh, okay. Yes. Well, very good. Nice to see you in. Whiskey 101. Lucas, Glenn, Andrew, Sandro, Bobby J, David Owen. Very good. Starting out strong as Springbank. I know exactly. Greg, can anything compete? Well, because it's not literally strong at only 42.5%, I thought we'll go there, but that's nice. Pineapple-y nice. Haven't had a drink all week, since last Sunday actually. Came back in from a run this morning. Had some water. I haven't eaten anything yet today. No lock-in tonight. He's appearing on Scotch on the Bio's channel for a blind tasting. That's what it is. Got it. Still, I'm sure you'll want to go and tune in. Cheers, everyone. I can tell I've got a tiny burnt tongue from yesterday. You could just feel it there with the alcohol. Tastes quite young, this 23-year-old, funnily enough. It's quite simple. The nose is old. Going tropical off that ex-Bourbon. Kind of light. Sort of apple, a touch bubblegummy as well, which I like. It's not in the same league as these. It tastes, if that's a 21-year-old Springbank ex-Bourbon, I would say that this tastes more like a 15 to 18. Very nice though. It's very gentle. Hardly any peat on this. Just a touch of earthiness under the lighter fruits. Not very Springbanky, I wouldn't say. Maybe if I compared to something even simpler, it would be. Right, what should we compare it to? Let's see, who else has arrived? David Owen, Greg, Sam. I think got all you guys right. Glenn saying hi to Deepa. Oh, she might catch it on the replay. I think Deepa's probably in the middle of the night right now. Ben Nevis 15 port to start with. Okay, Greg, let me find that one. It's a short dumpy bottle. Is it this one? There it is. It's a Ben Nevis port. It's a Ben Nevis McDonald's. I don't think there's any other Ben Nevises down there, are there? What else is... Hixie! Hey Mark, how you doing? Andrew, I spent some serious coin yesterday at a Dutch independent bottler in Amersfoort. What did you get, Andrew? Anything good? I mean, is it local? No, independent bottler. So Scottish whiskey. Tell us what you got. Tell us the most expensive. That's what we want to know. Tim, having a bit of a standard... Oh, Epicurean to start. Very nice. Never had it, Tim. It took a while for it to open up and taste like something. Very light. Fair enough. Maltologist. Hi, Phil. Enjoying a sample of Ben Nevis 11 I got from you. Very nice. With a little water, it's really awesome. What was the 11? The 9? I think it's a 9-year, wasn't it? Bobby J saying hello to Deepa as well. Right. 51%. I'm kind of curious what happens to the Springbank after we try some others. 51% on the Ben Nevis port. It's going to be quite the contrast, isn't it? Should we do a little dropper? So, in general, are you shopping for less whiskey these days? After the craziness of lockdown shopping? Is it just me? Maybe people who are buying less aren't on the channel so much. What do you think? Here is this Ben Nevis. Exclusive malts is no longer in existence, I don't think. Distilled, bottled. Hang on. How long was it in the port? I always forget. Let's see. Scotch intended for the Japanese market. Oh. From the port cask maturation. I'm reading on the back here. I'm trying to work out. Surely it wasn't 15 years in port cask. Could be, I guess. One of 271 bottles, cask number 1589. It doesn't say that it was. Excuse my cut fingers from the climbing gym. Trying to hold on to some little thing that came off. Scraped them down the wall. Age 15 years in oak cask. Distilled at Ben Nevis. 1998. Bottled in 2014. 15 years in port? What do you think? Or do you think it was just a re-rack into port? Oh, it's Impex Beverages. Didn't realise that. Okay, where are we up to? Might be too early to drink, but we'll listen in and enjoy 1996 Ben Nevis from Single Cask Nation later. Oh, very good. That is a good one. Wow, that is a contrast. Sam, I've become far more selective nowadays. I only go for things I want for a long time or for things that appear to be very high value. Yeah, so more targeted, not just buying anything in sight. Fair enough. Oh, it's the 10. 62 ABV, fat finger typing, maltologist. Yes, right, so the Ben Nevis, the one which is actually port and sherry in that one, isn't it? DJ Cami, shopping less due to crazy increase in prices and terrible market that I'm in, aka Ontario, Canada. Yes, I can understand that pain. Hixie, I won a Longrow peated on a local auction over here last night. Good to have a backup. Well, congratulations. Greg, in theory, but it'll be my birthday next month, so I already jumped into a bottle. Nicknean organic, fair enough. Before I'll get me some more gin. Oh, gins. For a gin video related. Lots of good French gins now. Are they cheaper? They should be, right? No barrel aging. Tim, also looking for value. Everyday drinker bottles. I've just opted for don't drink every day and still buy expensive bottles. Sandra, Ben Nevis port must be delicious. Let's see. Yes, I'm not buying anything. I have enough for the next couple of years. Maybe if some special offers arise. Yeah, we're up to about a 5-year supply. So what is going on here? There's sort of a fermented fruit underneath. Slightly you know, beef stock cubes in there as well. And now a bit of coconut. So the coconut is coming from where? It's got to be ex-bourbon and then port, surely. Funny, this has a very fermented fruit smell as well now. By comparison, they both of these, Springbank and Ben Nevis, are both a little funky, aren't they? Oh, that's a bit of a weird one. Oh, it's good though. Or is it? Hang on. That's sort of unexpected. Sort of, you know, wine gums and then sour barrels and then back to wine gums. Good up front. You know, unusual funkiness in that port. I think it's ex-bourbon underneath. And then, what's happening on the finish? There's a bit of mint imperials going on there. Not too minty, but sort of halfway between a mint imperial and a hard candy. I quite like that today. Yeah, a little bit of stock Bovril cubes underneath. Not quite so heavy in flavours as the colour suggests. Little bit of menthol things going on as well. Actually pretty good today. Thought last time I tried it, I didn't like it that much. Quite liking it now. Right, what else should we try? Someone else pick one. Let's see. Ben Nevis bottle for the Japanese market is called Nika Scroonugi. Very good. I think you are right. Jack the Pickled Hound. I'm moving away from young cask strength, which were affordable, and trying to get at least 12 years. Some new bottles on the shelf are awful value. Yeah, and it's just not worth it, is it? Drink less, buy something that's going to be worth it, even if it's more expensive. Andrew, good things about a good Dutch spirit shop is they let you taste before you buy. I tried 8 and bought 4. That sounds like a good deal. Oh, but you did spend nearly 1,000. Oh, come on, you got to tell us what you got if you're spending those numbers. That sounds very good. Glenn, also selective. Springbank, Arran and Laphroaig only. That's very selective. Hope you can keep that up. Whisky 101. Based on our shopping and logic, I would only be able to drink once a year and then get a bottle from the top shelf. That's true. We did manage to pick up another of the Clynelish for 140. That's the closest. Oh, Glenn's adding Talisker and D. But that's the closest to a cheap bottle that we've got up there, I think. Donna Pass, anyone else struggle with port maturation? I was kind of expecting to struggle, but I do like it today. It can be a bit weird. It's a bit like Longrow Red though, isn't it? They can be a bit off as well. I liked a bit of port in the mix though, in one of the Springbank 12 cask strength. Might be. I keep saying I will pause buying, but then another special offer hits my inbox and FOMO kicks in. I know. That is tough, isn't it? Let me skip down. Oh, Scroonugi, you're moving. So got to put a ton of whiskey in storage with SWA to drink later, not sell. Oh, fair enough. Well, good luck with the move. I haven't really considered moving with all the bottles. Sam, you're avoiding FOMO by remembering that there is always another bottle coming. That's true. There are a lot of bottles around. Glenn, I did struggle a bit with Bunna 12 cask strength release 2, but resisted as first wasn't too impressed. Oh, fair enough. Well, if you're not too impressed, then resist. Glenkeith 28. Tim, I think that makes you the next person to pick some. Where's the Glenkeith? Are you shouting for me to pull this out here? Oh, there, it's right at the front. It's supposed to be alphabetical to help me. Glenkeith 28, may as well do a pour, right? It's from a K&L bottling. K&L is our local fantastic shop in California. They have an LA branch as well as 2 up here in the Bay Area. So what do we have from Glenkeith? So Speyside region. This is a 28-year-old. Natural cask strength, 56.9%. Only one of 128 bottles. So presumably from a refill hogshead. And obviously that's only a half full barrel at this age. Something like that. So when's it from? 93 to 2001. Okay, what were you all doing in 93? I was still at college with Deepa. 93, just about. Royal College of Art in London. Wow. Maybe I just left. Deepa was just finishing. What did we pay for this? What do you think we paid? We bought it in October 21. It's not too long ago. 28 Glenkeith. Ooh, that is nice. Quite barrel-y now, quite oaky barrel on the Springbank. This is a fuller sweetness. What's the ABV? 56. I'll give it a little bit of water. And we'll let it sit for a little bit while I catch the chat. David also not buying much now. I've really got enough whiskey. I think that seems to be a common story with us all, isn't it? we all bought enough already. Sam, I've always been interested in the... Greg, pronounce it for us, will you? Is it Michelle? Couvreur? Something like that? Greg will correct us. Let's add this up. This one is the PT Overage. Also from K&L. Let's pour that. Pour that while we wait. Oh, I've lost the label off it. I don't think it was too expensive. Actually, I haven't got a label probably because it was a gift from our friend Guillaume. 43%, I think. 43. Give it one drop of water. Peaty and sherry. I wonder how much it is now. Right, let's see. Sandra, wow, what a bottle. Oh, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm probably going to miss some chat now. Sandro, guessing $290. I can tell you it was a very good deal at $165. I'm not, okay, it's a year ago now, but still, prices were expensive a year ago. $165. We did buy more than one. Because there's something about old ex-bourbon that we really like. Let's see how we can get some comparisons. So dark red grapes and a bit of honey. Pale wood oakiness, and then sort of a fermented banana pineapple. The Glenkeith is more, obviously, ex-bourbon, more like the Springbank. It's fuller, the ABV's higher as well, obviously. More honey melon kind of notes. Pineapple-y though. Take a little bit of water first. 57% almost. Ooh, almost a bit of magic in there. Try full strength. Not super complex either. Oh, nice finish though. Slightly sherbety sugar on the finish. And a bit pineapple oak up front. Wow, that finish sits. Going a little more honey. Honey on oak now. Oh, that's good. Yes, Tim. More is better. The age is there. Mostly because of how long it takes and the little details that come out of that. It is sort of a simple honey syrup, but then it's carrying these little delicate herbal, fruity. There's nothing really dirty in here. It's a, you know, it is a clean, light fruit whiskey, but oh, the details. Yeah, banana, pineapple up front. Little tiny bit of oak spice now. Sort of vapors on the nose. A little more toasted honey now. A little more oaky. A little spiciness. Oh, Andrew! Thank you very much. I see some coins are needed. Put your name in the whiskey tube. That is much appreciated. Oh, that Glenkeith is winning. The finish just lingers in a great way, of course. Oh, okay. Let me scroll up. Anyone saying anything? Oh, the Imperial, Matthias. Where's the Imperial? Okay. I'm curious about the Imperial as well. That has been a while. Only 45.4%, but the Imperial is how old? It's a 23. Might have to go Imperial after the Glenkeith, so that we don't get peat in the way. Let's give it one drop for now. Right, would love to see you try the oh yeah, the peaty overage. Michelle Couvreur, oh dear. Christopher, saying hello. Sandro, good deal. Yeah, the Glenkeith, I presume you mean. What's your email, Phil? I'll send a pic of what I bought. Whisky at captain3d.com. But aren't you going to share? I won't be able to share it on the live stream. Hopefully you got some good ones. The price. I can't get to the mouse now. Let's move along now. I need a little arm space in the middle. There we go. That's better. Don't want to pass. Chatting to Greg. Oh, Greg, missed a few minutes. So now French, not French whiskey. Couvreur for KNL. Wonder if it's better than the French market one and less expensive. Here it's way too much. Let me see if I probably recorded the price in the spreadsheet, even though I don't have a label dangling off it the way I normally do. Probably lost it somewhere downstairs. It cost $90 approximately, I think, with taxes from K&L. No age statement, is it? Oh, Christopher, you have a 24-year Glenkeith, but it's cask strength and second fill. Oh, second fill sherry. Well, this is cask strength as well, but no sherry. OMC bottles are often great. Old malt cask. Yes, we do have. Actually, that Longmorn. We have tried that Longmorn for a long time, but that's hanging out there on the top shelf. Squinoogie. I've been led to believe the MC is Glenmoray spirit. Oh, which we know is then matured in France, but never been able to get this confirmed. Oh, fair enough. Where's the PT coming from for Glenmoray? Do they do a Glenmoray? Bo Peng! Hey Bo, how are you doing? Some of it is Scottish, new make, but then sits in France. It's a weird grey area of labelling. Fair enough, like Japanese whiskey. Glenkeith can be terrific. Good at over 30 years. Almost there, Greg, at 28. Does Glentockers have farmy or peat, Glen? Not the ones that I've had, no. Our Glentockers, which is living up here, is definitely the old ex-bourbon pineapple-y experience. Let's go Imperial before we go peat. Now, how are we comparing to the Glenkeith? This Imperial is, let's get a look at the label. It's from Single Malts of Scotland. You see it's 23 years old, from 97. Cask 279, bottled in 2020. Cask type, very informative. Barrel. Now, obviously, only 151 bottles, so likely this is ex-bourbon, right? I don't think we get any more clues on the back, do we? Single Malts of Scotland. This cask of Imperial was bottled exclusively for the US. No clues, but everything tells me that's probably an ex-bourbon Imperial. Single cask. Smells like it's ex-bourbon. Could I tell the difference? Quite similar, actually. Let's get the Springbank in the mix. Oh, funky. It actually does smell a little bit peated now. Peated and much more fermented fruit. More in the coconut direction. Coconut and nectarines. And a slight funkiness about the Glenkeith compared to the Imperial. Right, here we go. That's kind of noble, understated, but very, very good quality, if that makes sense. How much did we pay? Oh, yikes, this was a $333 bottle from Mission in LA from October 21. Actually bought same time as the Glenkeith. A little more spiciness. Sort of a coconut syrup. I think the Glenkeith might be better. More interest in the Glenkeith. A kind of richer, honey, melon, then the oakiness. More range of interest. Back to the Imperial. Some little high-end spirit vapors there. I can't quite place it. You know, like banana vapor on a ripe banana, but not the banana flavor, but it has a little bit of that feeling. Oh, it's very good. No, there's more happening. The Glenkeith has more interest in its journey. This is a bit more singular. The finish is long, but I give it to the Glenkeith at half the price. There you go. 333? No, not worth it, I would say, on that Imperial. It is a closed distillery, of course. Another go. It's a very nice spot right in the middle. But it doesn't have the magic. If I had to put it on the shelf, well, it's doing pretty well. Probably around here. The Glenkeith I would probably push a little higher. Maybe up into this region. Then Nevis is probably somewhere around the Longrow Reds. Maybe lower, actually. Maybe down here. Where's the Springbank 23? Where would I put that one? Quite thin now. Very funky and does taste peaty now. Coming back. That's interesting. Good to compare sometimes, isn't it? I think it's down here. So 209 is down here. 150, probably similar. 165 is getting you top shelf, just about maybe with the Glenkeith. Imperial, 333, not justifying it, but it's okay, right? I think I'd rather have a Highland Park 21. Right, I feel I've been missing the chat. I might have to skip down. Oh, Andrew. My wife said that was a bit tight, 99 cents. How did I miss the second jingles? I missed it somewhere. That's funny. I'm going to put another name in. Andrew Chapel wife. Cheers for that. There we go. I won't understand what I've written there. When I come back to it, it'll make me laugh though. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Let's see. So many different things. Alan, how you doing, Alan? Hey, Phil. In Campbelltown today, enjoying ice cream and Bangladeshi. What? Bangladeshi food and ice cream in Campbelltown? No way. Where are you? What road are you on, Alan, that is giving you that? Well, I hope you have a great time in Campbelltown. The wee tune. Oh, Chris, yours was from Cadenhead as well. Oh, Andrew, there it is. That's funny. That took a long time to show up, didn't it? Manic More Dahlia. Hang on, this is another one. Am I missing chats? Maybe this one is coming in. I'll scroll down and find it. Christopher. Cadenhead has a Clynelish 12-year-old for $40. That can't be too bad, can it? Can't be too bad. Craigellachie 12. Sorry. Oh, even better. Craigellachie 12 is even better than Clynelish 12. Oh yeah, I think at $40. Hepburn's Choice. Probably an ex-bourbon. Very good. Oh, I'm going to have to scroll down and miss some chat. Sorry. Let's see. Donapass. I could see that Glentocher's having some similarities to the Glenkeith. Right. Yes, it does. Would be good side by side, as that often brings unique things hard to find when having alone. Yeah, I think the Glentocher's is more pineapple-y. Would the ABV of 45.7, Sandro is asking, be because after all those years, that's what the ABV is in the cask? Yes, it should be. 45.4 on this Imperial, 56.9. Now, obviously this is older than this. So what happened? Where's the difference? Different casks, different climates, different things. So if we presume that whiskey has gone into the barrel, so coming off the still, the new make spirit could be 70%. It's watered down typically to, what is it, 63.5, something like that. Most distilleries will water it down because there's a balance between having high alcohol to extract things from the barrel, but not too high. So if you take barrels in Kentucky versus Scotland for a start, and you fill them both at 63.5, let's say, and then you wait 10 years, well, the Kentucky barrel is going to be higher than 63 because the heat will evaporate the water out, concentrating the alcohol. In Scotland, with its climate, much colder, much dricher, wetter and damp, then the alcohol evaporates out and water is drawn in. Can't be drawn in, just that the alcohol is evaporating because the concentration, I mean the level is going down, but the alcohol is evaporating. So it's quite typical in Scotland that, you know, a very old whiskey can dip below 40% alcohol, at which point it's no longer whiskey, so they'll have to cask it, you know, vat it with something else to bring it above 40 if they're not careful. So different barrels, yeah, what would make the difference between, you know, 28 years still holding up at 56.9, whereas a 23-year dropping down to 45.4? Who knows? Different temperatures, different wood, different oak. Now, I think this 42.5 is watered down to get to this number because they had a few other bottles which were also 42.5. A whiskey which naturally comes down, like the Laphroaig 27, is only a 41 point something % whiskey, I think. Those can be quite magical bottles. When older whiskey is watered down to lower strengths, I think it does more damage. Don't really have any evidence for that, but there you go. One more before the peat, Glenturret. One more before the peat, that's funny. Yeah, Glenturret, 1987. Is that this one? That is this one, right? The Glenturret. Oh, so here's a good example. 42.1%. That will be natural ABV from Cadenhead, certainly. So distilled in 87. Oh no, where were you in 87? Bottled in 2017, so even the bottling is quite old on this. Any other clues? No, just what were the official tasting notes, actually? Sometimes they can... The Glenkeith had some official tasting notes. What did it say? Nose, apple, pears, and butter shortbread. I think that's fair. Palate, pears, green foliage, and sweet berries. Finish, long and lingering spice notes. Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think I actually used the word lingering, didn't I? Right, another ex-bourbon old whiskey. Or old ex-bourbon. Sorry, the peat is getting pushed here, isn't it? And I've just blocked my arm space to the mouse again. Just one drop of water in the Glenturret. Which maybe if I put the glasses behind, I'll have a little bit of space. A little bit of space to get my arm through. Right, Glenkeith versus Glenturret. Slight coconut with the fruit there now as well. Oh, hang on. This is quite different. Actually, nose is stronger. Oh, that's almost like lime and coconut now, that Imperial, compared to the Glenturret. Dark, it's like a fermented coconut with a little bit of dark honey in the mix there as well. Almost a bit of molasses or something. Molasses and sour grapes. Kind of, you know, dirtier flavors or aromas. Much cleaner honey and melon on the Glenkeith. Oh. Ah, hang on. Arrival was good. The oakiness is not so good on this. This is one of those that we describe as grey oak. I think a nice barrel would be more like, think of fresh, clean shavings, you know, of oak. And this initially had this taste of like old grey oak, like it's been sitting out in the rain for a bit. Let me try it again. Really good arrival. Okay, better second time. Might have just been an initial palate swap. Okay, that was good that time. Let me pay more attention. Lovely. A slightly challenging fermented fruit kind of thing. I mean, not challenging like a Longrow Red is challenging or something. These are all very close cousins. Old Ex-Bourbon. It's a bit more interesting compared to the Imperial. Has a little soft undulation of a journey. Try the Glenkeith again. A little flat arrival by comparison. Wow, that doesn't taste like 42%. That tastes much stronger. Oh, good. I give it to the Glenturret now over the Glenkeith. It's still got a lot of these similar Old Ex-Bourbon flavors, which are slightly fermented pineapple, vanillas, a little bit of coconut going on. Now, natural cask strength 42.1 surprisingly has a lot of powerful flavors. If I go back to the what I think is watered down to 42.5, it tastes 30% weaker, even though this is actually weaker in alcohol. Oh, the Glenturret is good. Give that a prize. Very nice. That means the Glenturret is probably up here now. Okay, I better catch up with the chat. Let's see, Squinoogie. I was sorting through some old papers today and I came across the receipt for the Glenfarclas family cask. 1959, 47 years old. And I paid less than 600 for it. Wow. What would that cost today? 3,000? I don't know. What would a 47-year-old Glenfarclas cost today? I see everyone chatting to each other. So, Andrew, hang on. I'm really behind. I've run out of papers. I'll have to write you on here, Andrew. See, Deepa normally gets to write the names. I'll put you in there after. Manickmore, Dalhuan, Glencadam, and Royal Brackla. Wow, that's what you got? Is that what you're saying? We only have, let's see, that one on the end of the shelf is a Dalhuan, an ex-Bourbon 22-year-old. We have no Glencadam anymore, I don't think. I still have a bit of Royal Brackla from someone. I don't think I have any Manickmores. I hope they're good ones. Alan, a fantastic combination. We're on Kirk Street. Got to go back because I forgot the rice. I'll be back. That is hilarious. Oh, I can just imagine Alan, you know, running through Campbelltown. Now, Campbelltown is a small place. It is called the Wee Toon for a reason. So, yeah, if you're in an Airbnb or a hotel, you're 5 minutes from everywhere. Okay, maybe Glen Scotia is 10 minutes away, but you know. 63.5 is for trading purposes. Thanks, Petehead. So that everyone can trade new make spirit. Is that right? Whisky 101. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, no problem. Based on the typical Scottish summer, a cask strength bottling could be 27.5. I wonder how low they can go. You know, a 40, 50, 60-year-old. Of course, no one wants to give up the value of a bottle of a whiskey to find out. Greg, let's see. Yes, Phil, you're right. But if matured in racked warehouses, it'll decrease less. Plus, barreling at 63.5 is because of Diageo's influence, I guess. But even something started over that. So there must be some science as to what's the preferred barreling strength. Has there been much experimentation on that? I'm not sure. I know I've heard of some trying different numbers. I was once told the uniform 63.5 fill was also to simplify trading on new filled cask between distilleries. Okay, Squinoogie, so you're confirming that from Whisky 101. No, from Petehead. Fair enough. Any experience with cask strength Balekin? We did have one, did we not? It was a wine cask Balekin. I'm looking in my spreadsheet. I think it's finished now. I have to scroll down to the empty section. Balekin, Balblair, Balblair, Balekin. We had a Balekin straight from the cask, 13-year Burgundy. It was a bit of an oddball, I remember. 53.7%. Might be a nice lineup of excellent independent bottlings there, Phil. Ah, yeah, they are good. I feel like I want to pour a little bit more of each in case, you know, in case we need to compare. So far, I guess the Imperial is the one that's disappointing. The Glen Keith is an absolute banger for, you know, 160 out the door. Oh, 218 for the Glenturret. Now that was Scotch Whisky Auctions and probably included shipping, unless, no, maybe we brought that back with us on the last trip. So maybe we didn't pay for shipping. $7.7 per year, averaged at 40%. $11.7 per year, and a stunning $4.1 per year. So value prize is definitely going to the Glen Keith. The Springbank is $8.6 per year, not too bad. $7.8 per year on the Ben Nevis. So Glen Keith is definitely winning overall value award here today. And I think the Glenturret is not doing bad at 7.7. It's certainly better than the Ben Nevis. A Casual Guy's Guy. Let's see, you noticed a couple of exciting bottles from Glen Scotia slated for early 23. Ooh, looks like a return of the 21 Disco Cow. No way. And a rum double cask. Disco Cow. I know what you're talking about. I've seen that label, or it's the can, isn't it? With a highly coloured cow on there. 1987. First year living on Okinawa while in the USAF. Really, Tim? Wow. Really good scuba diving, including night diving with such calm ocean there. Wow. That's a bit of your history I didn't know. 1987. 87, right, Tim? Yeah, 87, not 97. Yep, 87. Yeah, no time traveling. Great. I respect closed distilleries such as Imperial, but I have to say I often struggle with its style, which for me is kind of wilder cross between Clynelish and tannic. Yes, too citric. I can see that. Tiny little bit of soap perfume there, in a nice way. Glenkeith is more standard fruit and coconut. Oh, the sour stuff in here. A bit of old socks coming in on the Glenturret. Andrew, you have sent me an email. I will check it after. I don't think, can I check it now? I really shouldn't be checking email on the live stream. I'll get distracted by something. Like maybe Deepa sent me a message. I won't look at that. Andrew, I see your email. Wow, I'm seeing, I hope it's okay to talk about this. 2 Balblair 12s. What's the Wolfburn? And then you have a whole bunch of, oh, hang on, you got lots of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 bottles. Okay. I see. The Glencairn, the Royal Brackla, Dalhuin, and the Manachmore are all independent bottles. And 2011, 9, 09, 10. Fair enough. And then you also managed to pick up, amazingly, a Kilkerran 16. Clay, that's a local one, isn't it? Lunar Crater Balboa and Iris 11. 2, I have no idea what those are, and a grain whiskey. Very nice. It's always exciting to get a whole bunch of things to try, isn't it? Thanks for sending me email. A casual guy's guy. Also, to add to my above, Glencairn is bringing back the 18 back to the US. Oh, it is. Matthias, I've heard that the old, now closed distillery, St. Magdalene, filled casks above 70%, but don't know if it's true. Oh, maybe. I wonder what the difference is. Trains are just arrived. Hey, everyone. Very good. Do we go peated overage? Not too peaty, actually. We're going to do one last compare of the Glenkeith, well, and the Imperial. What's the lowest ABV? I can't believe that Glenkeith is the lowest. Let's go in reverse order ABV to see what happens. Lovely full old pineapple-y things. 57 almost, coming down to 45. Yeah, citric coconut. Flavors hold up, strength holds up. Not as good as the Glenkeith. The Glenturret, the lowest ABV, sour, weird, funky honey on the nose. More interest in that Glenturret That first reaction to the, you know, the shift on the grey oak barrel, that's not there at all now. It's just interest. Amazingly, the flavours hold up, 42%. It has no problem holding up against that 57 Glenkeith. Weird. Lovely. I give it to the Glenturret. Right, PT overage time. Kebber, one cask is more explosive. Do any casks explode? Jay, Phil, my man, I recently tried the Cadenhead Ardmore, and it was more funky than my Springbank 10. I can believe that. What is your experience with the Ardmore? Is it a good substitute for Springbank? Well, Ardmore is typically known for being Highland peat, isn't it? The Ardmores we have on the shelf, or at least one. Where's it gone? We have the 30-year-old, which is ex-bourbon and a bit of refill and first fill bourbon, I think. We have had some other Ardmores. For me, what comes across with Ardmore, the early names when we first had Ardmore, we called it tea and burnt sticks. So it's kind of like a tea with burnt sticks in it. Those kind of earthy flavors. So in that sense, it is not a mainstream flavor profile. So I could understand why you would say there's some funkiness. Did we have one called vanilla saltfish, which was an Ardmore? Not sure. Maybe that was something else. Tea and burnt sticks is the main thing, and quite peaty, more peated than most Springbanks, I would say, typically. Matthias, I've heard that the old done that one. Greg, let's see. Every pre-Diageo distillery was casking more or less over 70% in the past, around before year 2000. Oh, so relatively recently. You can notice that with the Rare Malts Select Bottlings, a good book about them. Oh, very good. Thanks for that, Greg. So pre-2000, so, well, this isn't going to be a good example because it's 42%, but this is why you might get a 28-year-old Glenkeith. Maybe this was barreled at, 70 plus, and that's why it's still holding up at 56. Who knows? Andrew, the Eris 2 is 15 years old, matured in first fill Ruby Port, a German bottler. Very good. Jesu, I would rather say Ben Romack. See, Greg's coming in with the knowledge. Right, PT overage. It's got that nice sherry and peat combination. 43%. I wonder if this will taste equally strong. I've no idea how old PT overage is. Should we look at the label? Why not? Got one of those typefaces that you can't really read, doesn't it? Oh, hang on. Alan's back. Did you get the rice, Alan? Dropped in the pub on the way. See, everything's within 5 minutes. Nice, folks. Tomorrow is Kilkerran and Glen Scotia. Oh, very good. Tuesday is Springbank and Cadenhead's. Quite excited. And thanks for the tips. Oh, very good. Alan, each morning, if you don't already have it on your calendar, run over to Springbank at opening time. If there's a line, jump in. If you want to get any of those special bottles that they used to call the cage bottles, I think they just call them single casks or something now. Get there at opening time at the Springbank distillery if you want to grab one. I think it's only one per person per week. We managed to get two because we were stuck in Campbelltown for more than a week with COVID. Very good. Kebber. At my Kilhoman tour, they said they lowered the casking strength to 65 as a fire safety regulation. Ah, okay, that's good information. Andrew, the lunar crater, oh, my mouse is in the way. Balboa is a Linkwood 13. Matured in first fill Rioja Barrique. Wow. The Eris 2 is a Tamdu. Fair enough. Is the new peat overage... Oh, is that the new one? No, this is from a few years ago. When did we get it? I'll have to look on the spreadsheet because my label is missing. We got this from a few years back. I'm sure it says on the label, but... we got this one January 2020. Now, does it actually say... Oh, vatted from various over 12-year-old whiskies. Traditionally ennobled. Oh, ennobled with sherry oak casks. And bottled in our French Burgundian caves. Is that a word, Greg? Burgundian? And this is specifically for K&L. So, here we go. Peat is exciting when you haven't had it for a little while. It's got a touch of that bacon thing going on, or barbecue thing, you know, when you have sherry and peat together. I'm trying to think what it reminds me of, what other peated whiskey. Quite a... Oh, nicely balanced. I have to say that first. Not overly complex. The flavors are good. It tastes definitely younger compared to the Glentoret at the same ABV. Slightly less, in fact. Let me go again. This is a perfect whiskey that I would take to challenge non-whiskey drinkers with something smoky, if that makes sense. Tastes like it's about half of the density of Ardbeg Uigeadail, let's say. And I would say that the peat, the type of peat, I don't know where they get it from. It seems more Highlandy peat, although Ardbeg can be quite ashy. It's almost more Ardmore-like peat. What's the sherry like? It's quite... The sherry is more prominent on the nose than the peat, I think. Simple sherry syrup with a barbecue touch of bacon on the background. Not so much of a finish. Slightly plummy, slight dates. Back then at $90, desperately looking for anything that could compete. I would take Ardbeg Uigeadail over it, and I could buy that here in California for cheaper, and it'd be much higher ABV, obviously. Port Charlotte fans would probably prefer their Oloroso cask, but that would be more like 120 probably. Back to Glentoret. Old coconut now, by comparison. So much of the rich fruit, because how does it compare to the Ben Nevis port? See, quite coconutty now, which makes me think much more ex-bourbon in here. It's... Okay, it's not bacon. It's beef jerky. In America, it's dehydrated strips of beef in a plastic bag packet, you know, which has been soaked in typically very sweet barbecue type sauces. That's what's going on here. This is the smell of beef jerky. It's not a whiskey nerd's whiskey, I don't think. Unless you want a warm-up for a heavily peated session. It just can't hold up to the magic of the older ones, even though I said there was no magic in them. There's less no magic in the peated overage. I wouldn't spend $90. No, I would not go there. I would use the money to fund something more expensive. Okay, let me try and catch up. I feel like we're kind of coming to an end, right? Did you see the Colila, the old Colila on the floor when I was thinking there about old smoky stuff? Right, let me try and catch up. Yes, the rice is delicious, Alan. Oh, very good. Oh, fantastic. So happy that you're in Campbelltown. Is there anything else specific to Campbelltown that you need to know? I don't know. You can walk around it, can't you? It's not a big place. Eric, wait. I'm dressing up as Food Quick for Halloween. That's fantastic. Andrew, you're going through a phase of wine cask matured whiskies. I understand that. Very good. I really enjoyed your Campbelltown videos. Oh, thanks, Sandro. Have you ever been, Sandro? Is it on your list of things to do? I hope so. We did get into a bit of trouble with our Campbelltown whiskies, and it was our fault. And I've forgotten the name of the person who pulled us up on it, because ultimately the thread was deleted in the comments. But with the whole COVID thing, when we drove to Campbelltown from my parents', which is south of Glasgow, that morning we got up and I was like, I've got a bit of a drippy nose, not feeling that good. And we were supposed to drive from 6 a.m, arrive at the distillery at 10 for our barley to bottle tour. And over the course of that drive, I had a bit of a headache, drippy nose, scratchy throat. I was like, I wonder if this could be COVID. But I'd already had COVID the month before in the US, or 2 months before, thinking probably not likely. And by the time we got to Campbelltown, I said to Deepa, we're not going to do the tour today, because even if it's just a cold, it's going to ruin the tour. So we'll go to the distillery and just tell them that we're cancelled. So we went into the distillery, had our masks on, and said, not feeling 100%, so we're going to cancel. But we were in the shop and we bought not a barley to bottle, we bought a cage bottle because we were right there. And then we left. Then we tested for COVID later. I think it was the next day. Could have been that afternoon. And we were positive. And then we had a whole week of sitting around. And as part of the week, we didn't feel that bad. But obviously we needed to isolate. But we then shot the video of pretending that we were just arriving in Campbelltown and then showing that we tested positive. And so when we did the unpacking video later, and I said we'd got 2 bottles, one when we first arrived and one a week later because of the COVID thing, someone pulled us up on the fact that we had arrived in Campbelltown knowing that we had COVID and then went to the distillery to get our bottle, because that's exactly what we had presented in the video, the way we had released the videos. But we'd actually shot the arrival scene on like day 3 of being in Campbelltown. So sometimes our clever movie making ideas get us into trouble when people look at the real timeline and say, well, if you knew you were COVID positive, you should have been in the distillery, which is true. Anyway, we sorted it out, but it was a bit of a movie making magic that got us into our own trouble. Greg. Let's see. I have a Glenmore 22-year bottle in 2001 at 61% ABV. Wow. It could never be that high if the cask was 43. Yeah, right. It couldn't have stayed unless they shipped that barrel to Texas for a few years. Forgot to mention, they were often stored in racked warehouses. So racked warehouses, the difference being what then, Greg? If you're not in a dunnage, if you're not in the cold, damp earth, if you're up higher in the warehouse, racked being like maybe they're 3, 4, 5 high. Actually, Glen Scotia has them stacked pallet style. So meaning the barrel stands upright as opposed to on its side. The barrel stands upright on pallets stacked 6 pallets high, 7, very high. So maybe at the top of the warehouse where it's warmer, you're saying that the ABV could concentrate, maybe even in Scotland. Could be. Whisky 101. Based on the Kilhoman comment and my collection, I have just ordered 3 fire extinguishers from Amazon. I have a great Belgian ale bottling at 74.6. Good grief. I hope you don't drink it at 74.6. Cellars for wine, usually not for whiskey. Yeah. From Burgundy area, indeed. Okay, that's what it meant on the label. Yes, Burgundian is a word in the wine world. Thanks, Eric and Greg. Alan, let's see. How's Alan's rice doing? While I catch up on the chat. You know, I haven't really got anyone to talk to during the week because Deep is away. It's only me in the house. I think the last real person I spoke to was at the climbing gym. That would be last Wednesday, and it's Sunday. So I haven't spoken to a real person since then. Of course, you're all real. I'm not just talking to a camera in my bedroom. Alan, I've had the MC overage, peated overage, Coleta port, Odd blossoming was the best. Oh, and the port was the most disappointing, a bit unbalanced and young tasting. Lol, I knew that Belgian one, Whisky 101. Oh, you're comparing. Okay, fine. Donna Pass, just getting to know the old Ballantrae 15 with its Highland peat. Ah, there you go. I wonder if, does anyone know? Maybe it's already in the comments and I haven't caught up yet. What kind of peat is in the overage? Let's skip down and try and see. Glenmorangie do produce peated spirits, Squinoogi's telling me. Fair enough. And will use Highland peat, so it fits my suggestion. Ah, yes, it does. Okay, so Glenmorangie Highland peat, would they also be peated and sherry, or is that a vatting at that point? Springbank Distillery cage bottles are a month wait list now. Wow. They could have changed it again, however. Really? How can you do a month late wait list if you're a visitor? Good heavens. What are we comparing? Looks like a lot. Welsh Toro. Well, you know. Springbank, Ben Nevis, Glenkeith, Imperial, Glenturret, and then we have a peaty overage sneaking in as potentially the finisher. Glenturret is winning. You should know. Beef jerky whiskey. Kind of yum, I think, Welsh. Yeah. Beef jerky is quite a... I don't know if it's a common thing outside of the US. Does any other country have beef jerky? It's a very American name, isn't it? Certainly, I had never heard of it in the UK. Peated. Highland peat often is somewhat more heathery floral, where Isla peat is more ashy and briny. Not always, but in general. And that's certainly the case with Highland Park, which isn't a Highland distillery, right? It's an island, but it's not an Isla. My understanding with the difference between Ardbeg being more ashy and Laphroaig being more, you know, iodine is because Laphroaig's peat fields are much more on the coast and Ardbeg's are more up the hill, away from the ocean. Just Phil casual drinking. That's true. Sam, thanks for the comments. I've always wondered if the cheaper Michaels were worth it. I'll avoid them for now, since I have heard similar things elsewhere. Sam, are you in the US? It's on my sharing list. If you want to try a sample, look in the description, and plenty of things on the sharing list at the moment. On my bucket list, Sandra. Yeah, got to get yourself to Campbelltown. It has to be done at some point. Thread deleted, but I get my comments deleted, especially when I mention sherry and whiskey. What have you done now, Welsh? It's not me deleting anything, but there is some auto filtering if you say anything rude. Normally when I see them I just okay them, but me that is hilarious. I'm scrolling now to try and find it, but I find it kind of funny that you keep getting you keep getting filtered, Welsh. Oh no. Right, Eric, wait, Welsh Toro. I think there is a glitch in YouTube. I had a comment deleted and then I reposted and it went through. Oh, maybe there is. Thanks, Eric. Go on, try and everyone type something naughty and see if your comment gets through, and I'll look and see if it's currently blocked. That would be funny. Use some swear words. Somebody type bollocks to see if that makes it through, if it's American based or if they understand UK swearing. Right. Modern sherry bottlings. Alan. Not sure what you're referring to, but yes. The angels drink more from the top barrels because the commute is shorter from heaven. But they must drink more water, right, Eric? If it's hotter and the alcohol concentrates. I tried a 14-year-old Glenlivet yesterday at 65.9, Andrew. Wow, how was it? Any good? Greg is laughing at it. Okay, I see Donna Pass has managed to get blocked with his S word. Well done. Not a wait list, but time between when you can buy a second. Oh, I see. I understand. So if you buy one, it's not a week, it's a month. Right? Tim has been the first one to successfully get blocked. Yes, I see it. Well, I'm just talking to the camera. At least the camera answers by mysterious people. Right, who else? I typed something in Dutch that's naughty. Bollocks make it through. Apparently dogs' bollocks are fine. Matthias, yes, all the bollocks. Eric, your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Nope, that's totally fine. Betty Swallocks, okay. Wow, Andrew. Apparently that is not allowed. Helpful review, Welsh. Maybe the first word, Welsh, got you blocked. The bollocks we know has already made it. Matthias, that's quite rude. I'm glad that didn't make it through. Whiskey 101. Vegan jerky. What is the... Oh, well, see, you filtered the effing point there. That's like the latest alcohol fruit. I'm going to show that one. That should have made it through, I think. There you go. Vegan jerky's made it through. Too slow. You retracted your message. I don't mean that. I want deletion. I give it 3 more minutes before this live stream is just blocked. That was good. Well done, everyone. Have we finished? We've done viewer's choice. I'm looking to see something. 46% Orkney single malt. I think we all know what that means, don't we? 21 years for something which is not allowed to be called Highland Park. Or could it possibly be Scapa? I think that's never the case, right? Has it ever been the case? Why is Highland Park so uptight about having their name on independent bottles? Everyone sees Orkney. It's like a whiskey nerd joke, isn't it? I'll put this in the peaty section. Why not? Are there? I guess there's Glenlivets, Glenfiddich. They probably don't allow their name to go other places. The Orkney independent bottle always makes me chuckle a little bit. I'm still seeing all the blocked comments. That's pretty funny. Whisky 101. Oh yeah, we did that one. Sherry Butts. Well done, Eric. You made it through. Butts got through. It did. Reeking Haddocks. See if the algorithm picks up on a proper dirty word. Jura. Oh no. The live stream is diminishing, isn't it? It's descending. I've sent the etiquette to you over the Glenlivet, Phil, via email. Ah, very good. It's never Scapa Welsh, right? Been Scapa the whole time. Very good. Because Edrington, they have to protect their brand. Yeah, but we all know. Greg, well done. Your comment made it. Petehead, I think YouTube blocked my naughty comment. Yes, it did. Whisky 101. See, Whisky 101, your big butts did not make it through. Apparently butts can make it through, but not big butts. But there it is. That song that you're referring to is also used in Madagascar, the DreamWorks animation movies. And we actually had a live performance on the top of the parking lot one summer at DreamWorks with Hans Zimmer and a full orchestra. Not a full orchestra, a full array of performers, because, you know, electronic instruments, all kinds of traditional instruments. And that song did get performed. Naughty Butts Alan does not make it through either. I will clear you. But it was a great concert. Really impressive. Dalmore 12 is quite a good whiskey, Matthias. Apparently approved by YouTube. How much Ardbeg gets mentioned in Secret Stuff? No, Welsh. The fact that you like big butts is not allowed. Even with one T. I've forgotten what I poured. Oh yeah. It's the not Scapa Orkney. What are we most likely here? Most like. It is a long, long way from beef jerky. Squinoogie, I once had a Hanu bottling called Big Butt with a wrestler's arse on the label. Really? Okay, is it more like the Springbank? The Springbank is quite grassy by comparison. Highland Park. I'm searching for the peat. Let's do comparisons. Fuller on the Glenkeith. Thinner on the Highland Park. Coconut on the Imperial. Wow, strong coconut now. This Highland Park is very neutral. Glenturret. Fermented fruit. Wow, this is the most neutral nose, I think. Yeah. That is a very neutral nose. Just mildly pleasant. Okay, that's better. It's quite ex-bourbon. I wonder if it actually is. Probably is. 21 years old, bottled for the Wine Society in Stevenage. This malt is smooth, slightly smoky with fruity and floral elements and a hint of peat. Superbly balanced. It is truly representative. Oh, a truly representative whiskey of the Orkney Islands. Vague notes. There's not much wow happening. How much did this cost? Same cost as the Glenkeith. No, that's the Imperial. Same cost as the Glenkeith, $165. $7.3 per year. Quite a neutral palate. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing surprising. Not particularly Highland Parky. Not particularly interesting, to be honest. Is there anything in this one? Oh, it is. I'm not allowed to drink things off the shelf, am I? Ooh. Highland Park 21 though. Let me compare. Now, it's almost double the price for the official Highland Park 21. And that cork is very dry. Let's get a little bit of whiskey on the cork. This is a 47.5 bottle. Yeah, 306 cost. Oh yeah, that's very, very good. Lovely balanced integrated sherry in that Highland Park 21. And I'm a bit of a Highland Park fan, which is surprising considering typically I'm not a sherry fan. Wow. Beef jerky, way stronger peat than the Highland Park 21. The Orkney 21 by comparison. Faint nectarines, and it's faint, like not good enough. Just lovely sherryness. Oh, that's kind of weak. Weak on flavors, I mean, not strength. Very good. The sherry just fills out all of the spaces. I don't think it's going to beat the Glenturret though. A bit more funky entertainment in the Glenturret. Funky honey. But you know, the Highland Park maybe, the official. Overall though, as we wrap up today, that Glenkeith at 165 from K&L is the outstanding value whiskey from today. Oh no, I've blocked the mouse again, haven't I? Right. Let me catch up on the chat before we go, because it is now time for Scotch in the Bayou, right? Eric, wait. I like big sherry butts. I cannot lie. I'll have to show it, Eric. You other brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with an itty bitty dram and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. You're such a poet, Eric. Why would this level of art be banned? I have let you through, Eric. All right, everybody. Let's do a thanks for watching while I run through the last little bit of chat. Casual Guy's Guy. This is what my garage work area looks like when I'm blending bottles that are too far gone. I know what you mean. Tim Donnerpass. Can't remember if the porn bots ever showed up during one of your live stream. That's what's happening to a lot a while back. I don't think so. I get them in the comments occasionally, and I just keep blocking. But I don't think we ever had it in live, did we? We've never had the live, run away. Okay. Greg. Nope. Chatting to Whisky 101. Bopeng. Sounds like the Orkney 17 that K&L did last year. At least that was cheaper though. Fair enough. Yes. Let's see. Whisky 101. What are you doing, Phil? You can't touch the shelf. That's true. You need to delete this HP tasting. Yeah. Before you upload the final and Deepa sees you. She's 5 drams of a Brora behind now. Well, I felt safe with the Highland Park because Deepa considers Highland Park to be my whiskey, not her whiskey. But whenever she tries it, she does like it. But she won't object. I have one of those, but haven't opened it yet. Oh, you're talking to Bopeng. Greg, let's see. Scotch in the Bayou live stream start in a minute. Yes. Everyone run over and say hello. It's merely okay, Bopeng is saying. I can grab it and give it some notes in a second. Fair enough. Sandro. Thanks, Phil, for vicariously letting us share these great whiskies. Oh, ciao. Thanks, Sandro. Thanks for everyone who's joined me in my little lonely life without Deepa. Cheers from the wee tune. I think a little round of applause. Let's have some fireworks for Alan for being in the wee tune. Spend as much money as you can, Alan, in the wee tune to support the tune. Donna Pass. Given out samples of that Glenkeith 28 to quite a few people. Just fantastic. Wish I'd bought 3. Right, Tim? I confess, we bought 4. Deepa made me. Squinoogie, we did hit 7,000 subscribers. Ah, thanks, Tim. Okay, some fireworks for us. 7,000 subscribers. All right, everybody. So we will hopefully see you next Sunday. Probably again, no Deepa. She's hanging out in Singapore, helping her sister with the parents. It's a whole new life over there, trying to understand what to do now that the parents are getting to that age. Unfortunately, Deepa's mum had a stroke and she is in the wheelchair. There's a lot of physio going on. Night nurses are involved. New bed, new arrangements, all those things that have to happen sometimes. It's a complex world over there at the moment. My life is simple, a little lonely, but very simple. Just me, my friends in the camera, and my friends in the bottle. But drinking has actually gone down because of it. I'm pretty sure I'll see you next Sunday because we still have, 14. What do we do today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus a Highland Park. We still have 14 bottles down there. So we'll see you next Sunday, and everyone see you over at Scotch and the Bayous. I'll give you another thanks. And what shall I try last? Let's give the Imperial one more again.